Well, ahoy, mateys. Welcome to another little live stream. Hi, everybody. That looks like a slightly peaky microphone. There we go. That looks a little better. Let me know how I sound. Hello, everyone. Who do we have here? Oh, Nini. Lovely to see you, as always. Jet Screamers lurking, playing Carball. Carball. I'm going to assume it's a thing where you're driving around in cars, knocking giant balls at each other. I'm just going to assume that. In which case, maybe you don't have a stream going in the background, but maybe it's not that. Anyway, hello to Cybelle. Good to see you. Deborah Battle couldn't make it to the last one. Happy to be here now. I'm happy that you made it. Airplane Jelly is here. Delicious airplane jelly. Oh, I could go for some of that. Filmmaker of the Future, hello to you. Paula Sanjeev, hello. Joe Allen, Mariah, Sewing Thread, Gem, Muppets Woo. Yes, Muppets Woo. Me too. I am also Muppets Woo. Never made it to one of these premieres on time. This is cool. Says Randall, I'm glad you're here. Beck is here. Hello. Jenny Moore is on Hilton Head this week. Oh, well. La-di-da. I don't know what Hilton Head is. Is that an island? I'm in Hilton Head. Is it where the Hilton hotels come from? Is that where a Hilton hotel gets born? Anyway, let's see. Okay, I'm going to run through everybody here because we got a lot of folks. Oh my god, we've got a lot of folks. Ellie, hello. B, Matt in the squad, hello from Oregon. Hello to Daniel Strait and Bobby Bomber Dash. Who's seen Young Royals? I have not. Jenny says, my favorite Muppet is Gonzo, probably. He's a good one. He's a good one. We're going to be debating the merits of various Muppets. Ooh, should I do a Muppet ranking video? Should I do maybe a live stream where we like identify the best Muppet? It's going to be a tough one. We're going to talk about it. Jeffrey is so excited. I'm glad. I thought you might like this. I'm glad that you're here. Jenny says, Richard Hunt looks like a dude who's been hanging out at CBGB's with the band. Yes. So we're going to talk all about him, but this side. Very far right of the screen, that's Richard Hunt working Ernie's spare hand working Ernie's other hand. Different War says YouTube didn't give me a notification. I can never know. You got to hit that bell, I guess. I'm guessing if you hit the bell, it's supposed to give you the notification. James loves the coupling of recent cover guests in the bottom left-hand corner. Yes, we've got. Oh my God, it's getting crowded, right? I had to shrink some of them to make room for the Muppets over here. My first premiere live stream. I'm very excited, says Naomi. I'm happy that you made it. And doing the dishes is Sophia, but someone who's gay and a Muppets fan, very hyped. I'm glad to hear that. Better, says Randall. Okay, audio sounding better. Okay, good. Oh, Paul says, I'm lucky I get to live in the timeline that has Matt Baum. Me too. I'm lucky that I get to live in the timeline that I live in. With your videos on gay queer TV history, I was wondering if you were going to cover the history of Babylon 5. Absolutely fantastic sci-fi show. There's several LGBTQ characters, says Magnum. That is on my list. I did DS9, obviously not the same, but I did give DS9 a little mention in my Babylon 5. Nope, other way around. I gave Babylon 5 a little mention in my DS9 video. Snappy Baby is here, and J. Max Stein is, wonderful, so glad to see you. J. Max Stein, fantastic biographer of Richard Hunt, who, again, we're going to be talking about him in just a minute, Richard Hunt and the Muppets and everybody. But J. Max Stein, a huge help on this video that is coming up. So big thanks to Max, and big thanks to Joshua Gillespie, who runs the Muppet History account over on Twitter, coming up with the idea, suggested I do this video, and helped a ton with the research. Video Gamers says, another Sunday with Matt Baum, highlighted my week. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so pleased. Mr. T-Bone, I have not seen Luca yet. I'm sorry, I haven't seen Luca yet. Sinister, how is Hilton formed? How Hilton get pregnant? MG says hi from Germany. Hello. Oh, Randall says Hilton has a South Carolina beach resort. Ooh, a beach resort town. Well, Mark likes Fozzie. Greg saying hello from Michigan. Ellie likes Fozzie best. And Anti-Blog says we need a Muppet ranking. Okay. Oh my goodness. Merits of Muppets. Yes. The Merits of Muppets. Oh, that's a good. I like that title. Yes. The Muppet Meritocracy. Knit and Crochet Tiger likes Sam the Eagle. You are all weirdos. Insect Warrior says, I love the Muppets as a kid. Who's your favorite Muppet? Mine is Kermit, Miss Piggy, Science Ones. Can't remember the rest. Science Ones. Beaker and Honeydew. Beaker performed by Richard Hunt over here. Mario Mumchin says, hello, the gays, and hello to Mummenshans. Tonight's very special guest is Mummenshans. Bumble, thank you for the tip. Yay, and the rainbow. Hope likes Pepe the Prawn. Special place in my heart. I met Bill Beretta many years ago, who performs Pepe, based on his mother-in-law. That character is, I believe. Erica says, I've always had a soft spot for Grover. Oh, Grover is very good. I like Super Grover. Super Grover is my favorite. Now, I got to be careful. Is Super Grover my favorite Sesame Street character? Super Grover is my favorite Sesame Street character right now at this very moment. But as soon as somebody mentions someone else, Gladys the Cow. Yeah, it's so hard to pick. Snappy was watching Maude yesterday. Reminds me of you. I do have two videos on Maude. Emily says, I wonder why Sesame Street is announcing their first gay couple when Bert and Ernie are celebrating their silver anniversary? Funny you mentioned that. I have a video up on Patreon right now about the whole Bert and Ernie are they, aren't they saga. So if you want to watch that, go check out my Patreon, patreon.com/MattBaum, to watch that video right now about Ernie and Bert. I've got a bunch more bonus videos about the Muppets coming up on Patreon in the next week or two as well. So check that out. Dr. Teeth is the most underappreciated bisexual Muppets is playing possum. Everybody's lover, everybody's brother, want to be a lifetime friend. Oh, that is a good point. I mean, the whole Electric Mayhem has very pansexual energy. Randall was just watching your Star Trek episode, reading that fan script made me tear up. I'm gonna have to read that DS9 book. That's a letter to Bashir. It is very sweet. Look, no spoilers here, but there may be a few little tearjerker moments in the Muppet video as well. Erica says, Babylon 5, please. Okay. More people. The people are demanding Babylon 5. That means I'm going to have to get caught up on Babylon 5. It's been a long time since I watched that. Literally since it was on. It's the last time. Okay. Was there a character, everyone? Was there a character on Babylon 5 named Tosh? Because here's the thing. When I was just getting out of college, one of my friends was working at like a tape duplication place, or I don't remember what it was, somewhere in LA. And they were like, oh, and one of the people I work with was the actor who played Tosh on Babylon 5. And I remember everybody being like, oh yeah, wow, I remember that character. That's really cool. And I just looked it up, and I can't find any record of a character with that name on Babylon 5. Now, this is a memory from literally 20 years ago, so maybe my brain is just broken. But I could have sworn there was a character with that name on Babylon 5, and a friend of a friend worked with him at some sort of like tape duping house. I don't know. Insect Warrior says, was the Muppets created by a gay man? Just wondered. Well, that depends which Muppets you're talking about. The Muppets, like, the first Muppets was created by Jim Henson, who, as far as I know, there's no evidence of him being queer. He was married to Jane, another of the early Muppet creators. But some of the Muppets were, in fact, created by a gay man, who we're going to be talking about. Richard Hunt, right over here in the far. He's working Ernie's hand over there in the far right. So some Muppets were created by a gay man. Scooter, Beaker, Statler, Sweetums, and many, many, many others. Masquerade says, do you have any interest in covering queer characters in Chip's Pokemon franchise? Possibly the Owl House. I would definitely be interested in that. Yeah, tell me more about queer characters in Pokemon. I have zero knowledge about that. I mean, I'm familiar with Pokemon, of course. I literally... they're not here. Oh, they're in the other room. I do have some stuffed Pokemon just off screen. And I also have some Fraggles here with me. These are my Fraggles from when I was a little child, from the 80s, when the show was on TV. I found them in a box and unboxed them, and here they are. These were my Fraggle friends when I was a little Herman, when I was a little Matthew. Here they are. Oh! Here they are. I would fill a cardboard box with all my stuffed friends and push the box around the house. And, oh, goodness. And here's, last but not least, here's Sprocket. So I've got all my little childhood Muppet friends here with me. Oh, gosh. Oh. Put you guys down. Gobo has, oh, gosh. Gobo came with a hat, and I lost the hat. So this is literally 20 years, no, longer, much longer, 35 years ago maybe. My mother made a new hat for Gobo. I don't know if this is knitted. No, it's sewn. She sewed a hat for him. Anyway, there you have it. Cybele likes Miss Piggy. Sewing Thread had a crush on Janice since I was 13. Janice, also performed by Richard Hunt. My favorite Sesame Street character was always Elmo, says Masquerade Noir, because I had VHS of Elmo's World segment as a kid. He still is to this day. Elmo, not originated. The first performer who played Elmo, I can't remember. Then it was Richard Hunt for a little while, and then Kevin Clash, and now the performer who's also his name I can't remember. The performer who performs Elmo now, all gay men except for that first performer who played Elmo for like a year or two. But Elmo's always been played by queer performers. And Mr. Noodle as well. Mr. Noodle, Derek Jeter? No, that's a sportsman. What's his name? Michael Jeter, who played Mr. Noodle, also gay. So, there you have it. Should do a video about queer characters on kids shows, says Motherload Man. I mean, we're getting close with this video that you're about to see. Frank Oz is operating. Yeah, Frank Oz is operating. The other one I got his autograph. Wrote to him. Frank seems like such a nice person. Like everything I've ever seen about him, he just seems like the best. Oh, Deborah says Tosh was on the Doctor Who spinoff Torchwood. Huh. Maybe that's who we were. No, because this was like pre-Torchwood. This would have been like 2001, 2002. Oh, James on Pokemon is amazing, Hank Morgan says. Yes. So James on Pokemon has a very brief line. He's like off camera when he says it, but somebody says something about his purple hair, and he goes, "It's lavender," which is, I think, a reference to the very same line of dialogue in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I think. Knit and Crochet Tiger likes Red Fraggle. Red's very good. Look at her hair. She's got like they did such good hair for Red. It's a bit of a mess right now because she's been in a box for so long, but these big pom pom pigtails on Red here. We need to comb this out a little bit, maybe. Oh, Mari says you're like the Labyrinth girl. You're right. Becca says, do you think it's not easy being green by Kermit is queer code? I want to think it is, but I want your opinion. Well, I think one of the nice things about that song is it can be interpreted in a lot of different ways by different audiences. It's not easy being green and saying, like, these are the things that are about me, and they are a challenge sometime, but I'm also proud of them. That is a thing that can be applied to race, to sexuality, to gender, to disability, to national origin. Like, there's so many different things that song can be about. But fundamentally, at its heart, I think It's Not Easy Being Green is about, being happy about who you are. I think... Did that start a Muppet Show or Sesame Street? I can't remember where It's Not Easy Being Green was first debuted. It's a Joe Raposo song, who did a lot of Muppet music. Like, just incredible guy, Joe Raposo, who just like could write music like that. And so many classic Muppet songs are from him. My camp nickname is Red because of Red Fraggle, says Erica. Aww. Insect Warrior says, I like the orange and old one. Oh, the orange and old one. Is that Gobo? Are you talking about Gobo and Traveling Matt? Oh, there they are. Oops, backwards. So there's Gobo, who's kind of the ringleader of the Fraggle. If you're not familiar with Fraggle Rock, my goodness, go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it there, or get the DVDs or whatever. So Gobo is kind of the ringleader, who is the big, brave, bold one who goes on adventures. And Traveling Matt is his uncle, who has gone out into outer space, which is where humans, silly creatures, live, and is having adventures there. I just noticed there's still the little plastic... I don't dare do anything to it because it's fragile, but the little plastic hook on the back of his head where it was like hanging up in the store is still attached. Anyway, these are just such great stuff, friends. They're so well made. Oh, I just noticed that I braided his little drawstring here. Don't know when I did that. Emily's loved Eureka's Castle. I don't know how much cross-pollination there was from the Muppets to Eureka's Castle. Not a Muppet, not a Henson production. Eureka's Castle. Oh no! Really? Wait, hold on. It scrolled and I lost it. There we go. Steve Whitmire's Traveling Mountain roller coaster was the only rope because Steve was afraid of them. Oh boy. Video Gamer ships Red and Moki. They are a very cute couple. Michael Jeter was Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Oh, okay. There were multiple noodles. It's a whole melting pot of noodles. Video Gamer says when I was a kid, Mr. Noodle was played by the actor who played Maria. That doesn't sound right. That sounds like two wires might have gotten crossed, which I'm certainly guilty of in many ways. Yeah, Changus, the puppeteer Karen Prell, who did Moki as an animator at Pixar, was guest at Further Confusion many years ago. Really? Oh, that's lovely. I saw Karen Prell at a screening of Labyrinth. This is many years ago. Might have been like 2000, maybe around 2010 or so. So anyway, they were screening Labyrinth at the Castro Theater in San Francisco, and Karen and a bunch of other performers from Labyrinth and general Muppet performers were there, and they were doing like a little talk on the stage before the movie. And then one of them, I can't remember which one, was like, "Wait a minute, who's that?" And they like pointed into the audience, and the performer, like, this was unplanned. They didn't know this person was going to be there. But the woman who was inside Hoggle's costume in the movie, Hoggle performed like the face and voicer Brian Henson, but the woman who was inside the costume was just sitting there in the audience. They like brought her up on stage and found a chair for her. It was very sweet. It was a little reunion that nobody was expecting. Oh, Vin Cornelis says Kermit and Nina West did Rainbow Connection together? Really? That's lovely. Bitter Queen says, you showed off your Fraggles, but where's Marjorie the trash heap? She's around. She's around. Let's see. Oh, she's meowing a little bit. Let's see. Do I have Marjorie the trash heap? So James, my partner, sometimes will stream, and when he does, instead of putting himself on camera, will just put himself... Oh my God. Is Ode to Joy playing like super loud to you all right now? It's like blasting in my ear. When he does stream, he will often put Marjorie up on screen. Let's see if I can find her. Oh, there she is. Hold on. Let me get her. And there we go. Just added Marjorie to the stickers. Why not? And Gunge, one of the rats on Fraggle Rock, also played by Richard Hunt. Who are the two ADHD aliens from Sesame Street? Watching them sounds exactly like what happens when my siblings and I are stuck together and we run out of topics, says Magnum Magpie. The Yip Yips, I think, are the ones you're talking about. Yep. Uh-huh. Being green first played on Sesame Street, says Joe Weatherford, has been used on the Muppet Show. I like it's iconic to me from the Muppet Show. Like Kermit sitting like backstage on not backstage. He's just sitting like on a rainbow or something. No, a stool, a stump. It's a tree stump, with a brick background. Kermit singing "It's Not Easy Being Green." Oh, and he sings it with Ray Charles. There's a Kermit sings "It's Not Easy Being Green," I think on Sesame Street with Ray Charles. Gosh, anyway, this is the moment anything Muppet is mentioned, I can't remember so much. I've lost so much. My memory is such a sieve on so many things, but you mentioned one Muppet thing and I'm like, oh, here's like an encyclopedic dump of all the information about it. Anyway, we're talking about ADHD. Honeydew and Beaker are my favorites, says Ria Draco, because I love science. The Swedish Chef is also my favorite. Well, cooking's a science. Erica says, is Miss Piggy a Disney princess now? She is. She has always been a princess. Ever since the very moment that she and Kermit met at the Bogan County Fair, when she was declared the winner of the beauty pageant at the fair. She has a crown placed on her by Elliot Gould, who's the master of ceremonies. I literally can't remember my own age and address, and yet I know the name of the fair from the Muppet movie where Miss Piggy meets Kermit. Oh, Horizon says Marie sometimes played a Charlie Chaplin character. That might be who you're thinking of. Oh, Randall says you may have missed the answer to Tosh. There's a character named Kosh, who's the Vorland ambassador of Babylon 5. James, yes. It was Kosh. Kosh was the Vorlon ambassador on Babylon 5. Oh, Randall, you've solved the mystery. Because we were like, why did we remember that? Why did we think that he worked with this person? You've solved the mystery. Bobby says, got any recommendation for a nice gay film to watch this evening? That's a good question. Do you like documentaries? Do you like musicals? Do you like drama? Priscilla, Queen of the Desert is my go-to recommendation, but perhaps that's not what you're in the mood for, in which case, I don't know, Paris is Burning? Watching the movie with the ringleader and orange one is there. I always want that. Also, Sesame Street in my childhood, same with Emilio, Cookie Monster, Oscar, Mr. Noodles, Big Bird. Who's yours? Who's yours? It's so hard to pick. Insect Warrior. Masquerade Noir says, I'm probably alone in this, but the Baby Muppets and the Fraggles are basically the only Muppet things I didn't grow up with. Oh, there's so many Muppet things that you didn't grow up with. So many obscure Muppet things, like Little Muppet Monsters. That was one that lasted just a moment. Dog City, Puppet Man. These are all the obscure Muppet things that, didn't quite go. Hey Cinderella in the very early, I was 66, I think. John Hurt is, video gamer, the Storyteller. With John Hurt, companion series on Greek myths with Dumbledore is great. Oh, it's so good. I've got in the other room, I've got the comic book versions of a lot of the Jim Henson Storyteller Greek myths. Ardwright Chamberlain played the voice of Ambassador Kosh on Babylon 5. He's the alien that is always in the suit. Nini says the Manamana skit is a recurring gag in my house, and we'll start in the whole house. We'll start. Oh, that's great. That is a good thing to share as a family. That song originally written for the Muppets, used in a adult film, and Jim Henson just I don't know how it came to his attention, but liked it and used it. A lot of the early Muppet stuff pre-Muppet Show was lip syncs, so they would appear on late night. They would appear on commercials. Oh, that probably wasn't lip syncs, but they would do late night, and they would do the show Sam and Friends, local TV show in DC. And it would just be the Muppets lip-syncing to stuff, not actually performing. Miss Piggy is not a princess or a queen. She's an empress, says Knit and Crochet Tiger. She is her own category. Ooh, Magnum Magpie says, if you could see a classic novel adapted by the Muppets, what ones would you like to see? Well, Treasure Island, of course, but... classic novel adapted by the Muppets. I don't know why The Great Gatsby suddenly came to mind. That would be terrible. Terrible. Not that. Honestly, I would be interested in seeing some real pulp, like the Conan short stories. I would love to see Kermit as Conan. That's a terrible idea. I don't know where that's coming from, but I would enjoy kind of that old campy pulpy stuff. Nathan says, I got myself Paris is Burning for my birthday a couple months back. Haven't watched it. Should fix that. Yes, you should watch Paris is Burning. And also watch Kiki and watch The Queen, 1968. All fantastic queer documentaries. Masquerade says, have you heard of Lumity from the Owl House? It's the shape of the female main character, Luz, and her love interest, Amity. So I have not watched Owl House. Should I watch Owl House? I've heard a lot of people saying good things. It feels to me like Steven Universe, when everyone was like, ooh, there's this new thing you got to check out. And I resist it for a long time, and I watch it, and I'm like, oh, why did I resist? Also, BT Dubs, new season of Beastars, now available on Netflix. Do you have a favorite Skeksis of the Dark Crystal? The Gourmand. Why would you even ask me if I have a favorite? The Gourmand, of course. I think he's the most fun. Oh yeah, Sophia, Hey Cinderella is fully up for free on YouTube. Yes, when you're done watching this, watch Hey Cinderella on YouTube. It's okay. It's pre-Muppet Show. It doesn't have the same like fun chaos as the Muppet Show, but it's still the Muppets. It's still a great time. Emily says, what's the deal with Skeeter? Was she exclusive for Muppet Babies? Yes, I believe Skeeter is Scooter's twin sister who was just Muppet Babies. I think. Oh gosh, and the Sylvan says, don't forget the SNL Muppets, the Gorch Muppets. They tried to put the Muppets on SNL in the 1970s. It didn't go great. It wasn't a good fit. SNL writers didn't really know what to do with them. So they're fun characters with material that might have worked for someone else. Oh, I love that one. The Muppet Musicians of Bremen. Yeah, Mark Calise. I forgot about that one. That is a great one. That's one of my childhood favorites. That and the Bunny Picnic. Plague Blossom says, Muppet Show Sex and Violence. Hard to find the whole thing. Little bits and pieces are up on YouTube, but not the entire thing. So we're going to talk about this in the video that you're about to see. So in case you missed it, the plan for today is we're going to be chatting here for a little while. Then we're going to go check out my new video about the Muppets that's premiering in half an hour now here on YouTube. And then after that, we're going to play a little Stardew over on Twitch. So we're going to chat here for about another half hour. We're going to go check out my premiere. It'll automatically redirect you. Fingers crossed. It usually works. Automatically redirect you in about a half hour to my new Muppet video all about the gay history of the Muppets and Richard Hunt and some of the queer guest stars on the Muppets, and also a little bit about the history of Bert and Ernie. So that's coming in about a half hour. And then after that video premieres, we're going to go play some video games on Twitch. So that's the plan. All right. Ooh, Sutari-kun says, I'd love to see the Muppets do anything by Agatha Christie. I like that. Or Dashiell Hammett. Yeah. Dashiell Hammett mysteries. Yes. Okay. Yes. Noir mysteries with Kermit and Fozzie and Gonzo. That would be so much fun. Here's the thing, though, is this is just my feeling, is I would be cool with the core classic Muppets kind of stepping back, kind of taking a break and letting some different, more current Muppets, new Muppets, let's even say, discover themselves. I think that a lot of the Muppets that we remember fondly are great and awesome, and they're wonderfully remembered, and I think it would be okay if the Muppets weren't all new performers doing our favorites. Because I do think that a lot of what made them work were the performers themselves. Oh, and Ruby is now following. Thank you, Ruby Everlight. Yay, that's a little follow over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Yeah, twitch.tv/MattBaum is where you can follow me over there. Video Gamer says, Miss Piggy wasn't my only inspiration to become a drag queen, but she was one of my biggest. Oh, Play Possum wants to see Muppets do pink flamingos. I don't know. That's never going to happen. Yeah, I do have a Xena. Xena would be a good one to do, although, like, it's always subtext. There's never any explicit queer, but I'm just going to write that down so I don't forget. Xena would be a fun topic. I do love my Xena and Hercules, although real life performers there, politically, the Hercules of it all. Anyway, everyone wants me to watch Owl House. Okie dokie. Oh my goodness. Ituriel, thank you for the follow. My gosh. I appreciate it. The Sylvan likes the Gourmand. Yes. Favorite Labyrinth character? I've got to go with the Worms' Hard Body. Oh, that's a really hard one. Favorite Labyrinth character? Ooh. The hands when she's falling down the pit? I don't know. My favorite Labyrinth character is the choreographer, Gates McFadden, who you probably know as Beverly Crusher on Star Trek, was the choreographer on the movie Labyrinth. Before she was on Star Trek, she was a dancer. And she's also, and Gates McFadden also in the Muppet movie. So there you go. It's one of the weird things, like you see her and you're like, Dr. Beverly, what are you doing here? In the Muppet movie and also in The Hunt for Red October. She's briefly in that movie. It's very weird to see her there. Skeeter was added to have extra female characters, says Randall. TV trope that made She-Ra just copy a character, make it female. Nostalgia Chick has done great vids on it. Nostalgia Chick? Who's Nostalgia Chick? Need more pigs in space, more veterinary hospitals, says Erica. Those are good. Those are good. Those pigs in space and veterinary. I love when it's just like puns. That's when the Muppets are at their best. Oh, gosh. Toscadera, the episode with Peter Ustinov. Yeah, oh, yeah, you're right. He played Poirot. I forgot about that. Yeah, bring Peter Ustinov back. Speaking of other videos that I've done, Peter Ustinov, the voice of Prince John in Disney's Robin Hood. Go check out, if you haven't already, my video about Disney's Robin Hood. Not just about Disney's Robin Hood, although I wish. About Disney gay villains. So Thread recommends Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. I haven't heard of Hell of a Boss. I tried Has Been Hotel and I couldn't get into that one. Ooh, Steven Schmidt says favorite Muppet Show guest star. Well, I do like there's the queer one, so like Elton John and Vince. Oh, hello, who is that? By the Gullet now following. Thank you so much, By the Gullet. The queer ones: Elton John, Vincent Price, Liberace, James Coco, depending on who you ask. Jim Neighbors. But I mean, Madeline Kahn. Wait, was Madeline Kahn on the Muppet Show? She was, right? For sure, Gilda Radner. Gilda Radner. That's a fantastic episode. The Gilda Radner episode of the Muppet Show is so good. It's just great. But there's also the one with the cast of Star Wars, so that episode, there's an episode of the Muppet Show with Mark Hamill and C-3PO and R2 and everybody. And I think is Chewbacca? Does Chewbacca make an appearance? James just made a Chewbacca noise. I don't remember. Anyway, so they appear. It was right before Empire came out, and it was the first time that audiences got to see Luke in his Bespin outfit. So there's a lot of like speculation about like, ooh, what do you wear? It's like this new costume. What's going on? What does this mean? So just like people like scrutinize every little leak from the set today, people were scrutinizing Mark Hamill on the Muppet Show back in 70. What would that have been? 78. Geek Filter now following. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What was I going to say about that? So anyway, story about Mark Hamill. Very short story. Mark Hamill, real good friends with Richard Hunt. So Richard Hunt, in case you missed it earlier, was the one of the almost founding members of the Muppet Show, or Muppet Troupe. He joined shortly after the Muppets got going. And you can see him over on the far, far side of the screen over there, kind of wedged up against Jim Henson, performing one of Ernie's hands. So Richard was it's an amazing story, and you're going to hear about it in the video that's about to premiere. But Richard basically was watching, he was this just out of high school kid. He was watching the Muppets on TV. He was like, I'd like to do that. Called to ask if he could audition. They brought him in to audition, and the next thing you know, he's working alongside everybody. Carmen says, I'm waiting for a Disney Robin Hood watch party Twitch stream. Well, I can't just stream a Disney movie on Twitch. I'd like to do that. Maybe on Discord at some point. Oh, that's right. Joe Weatherford says, Madeline Kahn appeared in season 2. Gonzo fell in love with her. Okay. Because Madeline, she also, of course, is on Sesame Street, where she appears with Richard Hunt. One of those rare on-camera appearances on Sesame Street. In Netflix series, wasn't Harvey Fierstein the Gourmand? Was he? I didn't know that. It's such a great voice cast. Who's that? Doug, a dreamer now following. Thank you. Anyway, so Mark Hamill on this episode of The Muppet Show became real good friends with Richard Hunt. It was like, I don't know if this is true, if he was the godfather to Mark Hamill's kids. I don't think that's actually true. I think he was just like a friend of the family. And so Mark Hamill has a really nice tribute that you can find, I think, on Twitter, where he talks about like what a great guy Richard was. Albert Finney was Poirot. Ustinov took over the role on Death on the Nile and Evil Under the Sun. Okay, so not Murder on the Orient Express. Jojo says Marvel Comics have Marvel character named Enchantress. Oh yeah. So I know there's a new He-Man. I know that I've got to watch it. Oh no, I missed that last follow. Anyway, thank you for that last follow. I missed who it was. Sorry. I know there's a new He-Man. I know I've got to watch the new He-Man. It looks great. I'm very excited for it. Just add it to the list of things that I got to watch someday. Someday. If I could just watch things on like 5 times speed, maybe I could get through everything. That's how I listen to podcasts on like slightly over double speed. So it's like 2.1 or 2.2. Which is difficult for other people to listen to. It sounds horrible, but it's the only way I can get through everything and also pay attention. For some reason, when I listen to podcasts and people are just talking normal speed, I'm like, oh my God, get to the point. Oh, Empire was 81 or 82. Mr. T-Bone says Empire was 80. Yeah, so maybe it would have been 89 or 89. It would have been 79 or so that episode with Mark Hamill of The Muppet Show was on. Oh, Hardbody says, the picture of Richard Hunt reading the newspaper with Sweetum's legs. So one of my favorite Muppet images. There's a great one. So Richard, who we're going to be talking a lot about in the video you're about to see. Richard over there on the right. One of his things is that he seemed completely unprepared for whatever take was about to happen. Like he'd be fully suited up or he'd have the Muppet on his hand and he'd just be like reading the newspaper or something, totally disengaged, not like rehearsing or doing vocal exercise or something. And then they'd be like, all right, here we go. This is a take. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And like on 1, he would put the newspaper down and just instantly in character. So there's a great picture of him just in the full Sweetum's body costume, no head, just full Sweetum's body reading the newspaper, the giant feet there. It's real cute. Here's my Sweetum story. I have a Sweetum story. Sweetum's is the big full body Muppet, the monster, kind of like an ogre. I think he first appeared in The Frog Prince, I think. Anyway, so it's played by Richard. Big, shaggy, hairy monster. He's the one in the Muppet movie who's like, Jack not name, Jack job. Hey, wait for me. I want to go to Hollywood. So this is years ago when Kermit the Frog got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, because of course Kermit has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Why wouldn't he? It was 2002, I think, that he got it. Was it 2002? Yeah, it was 2002, I think. Anyway, I was there for that. And they had like a nice like speeches and stage setup and everything. For some reason, Tippi Hedren was there. I don't know why. I saw Tippi Hedren from The Birds. I don't know. Maybe they were doing a Muppet remake of The Birds. They weren't. So the mayor of Hollywood, which is his honorary title, I don't know why it exists. He's not like an official government position. It's just like a figurehead job. So the mayor of Hollywood, Johnny something, was up on stage doing some speeches, and then behind him, Sweetums like gets up on stage, and he doesn't notice that this is happening. This is all outdoors on Hollywood Boulevard. Sweetums, somebody in the outfit, I want to say it might have been one of the Henson kids. I can't remember. It might have been Brian Henson. I don't remember. Gets up behind him on stage, is just standing behind them. And then when the mayor, like this tiny little old man, turns around to like leave the stage, this giant Muppet creature is standing behind him. And he like does this like take, like he was not expecting it. It was a good moment. It was a good moment. I got my picture taken with Kermit at that. It was a real highlight for me. Joe says, I love the one pic of him with an arm inside Ernie while Ernie's just dangling. Joe, I know exactly the picture that you mean. It appears in the video that you're going to see in about 24 minutes. Sweetums first appeared in Frog Prince as J. Max Stein. Hunt didn't play him. Oh, until later appearance on the Cher Show. Oh. See, this is one of the funny things about the Muppets is that, especially in the early years, they weren't like locked in on particular characters. So you'd see different people playing different characters. Richard, I believe Richard played Miss Piggy at first, before it went to Frank, a very different voice. Same thing with Elmo. Elmo's original voice, like, he sounds like a smoker. He's like, la-di-da, la-di-da, hey, how's it going, everybody? And it's not Elmo at all until, like, the story is that Richard couldn't really get like a good character going with Elmo and just threw the puppet one day to Kevin Clash and was like, you do this fucking thing. And Kevin Clash like gives Elmo a high voice. Same grammatical kind of weirdness. Like Elmo's weird way of talking was predated Kevin. But anyway, so Kevin Clash started doing the voice and the rest was history. Firestein was the Gourmand, says Mark Elise. There you go. And Aquafina, fantastic. I can't remember her character's name, but another great vocal performance there. Like I knew nothing about her when I saw that Netflix Dark Crystal, and I was like, who is this actress? Because she is amazing. Sophia says the part with Sudams always made me sad as a kid, even though it was supposed to be funny. Oh, wait for me. I mean, he catches up with them. He catches up with them in Worldwide Pictures. Again, I remember the name of the studio, the movie studio, where the fake movie studio that they made up for the Muppet movie. You know, I nearly left the house with no pants on the other day, but I can remember that. Oh, Satari-kun, that's actually brilliant. A Muppet remake of The Birds called The Chickens. It's all plot by Gonzo. Video gamer, I'm imagining a Muppet version of The Birds using those chicken puppets. I will say, like, there was a brief period where I worked at Jim Henson Company. This is, again, this is why I was at the ceremony. So I was working at the Jim Henson Company 2001, 2002. And one of the company tenets, I guess, one of the, like, company mottos, I guess you'd say, like, there were, like, these principles. There were, like, 10 guiding principles for the company. And the 10th was something like, when in doubt, throw penguins. It was just like a company principle. Filmmaker of the Future says Scooter's sister was also seen in the Muppet comics as an adult. I didn't know that. First time I heard Star Wars as a kid, Lego Star Wars on PS2. Oh, there you go. Was Lego Star Wars really your introduction to Star Wars? That's amazing. Oh, Joanne says favorite Muppet holiday special? I mean, John Denver. No, you know what? It's the one where they go to Fozzie's mother's house because they meet. It's like it's got the crossover with all. The John Denver one's really good, but it's got the crossover with the Muppets and Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock all together. Doc is there. It's just and Jim makes an appearance at the very end. It's really sweet. I think it's that one. Muppet Family Christmas is Hard Body. That's the one. Yes. Oh, that's it. Sophia Aquafina was a collector. Favorite toy we had as a kid was a singing plush Kermit that you squeezed. He'd mumble the song if you squeeze his mouth. Oh. Steven Schmidt says those old Muppet commercials are something. Yeah, aren't they? You can find them here and there on YouTube. If you look up just like old Muppet commercials or Wilkins Wontkins, these two characters that were created to sell various products. But before the Muppet Show, before Sesame Street, the Muppets basically did commercials. They started as a kids show on this local TV station. People liked them. They got hired to do commercials. They appeared on late night. They just kept popping up on TV until really Sesame Street cemented them. We're going to be talking about all that Muppet history in this video you're about to see. Yep, Geekfilters always wanted to see a Vita done with the Muppets. Okay, who would you cast? Who would you cast as who? Yeah, and Filmmaker for the Future, Miss Piggy was on Drag Race All-Stars. Yeah, I hunted that down. You're going to see a little clip of that in a little bit. Piggy appearing on Drag Race. With all the like weird Drag Race awkwardness of like it all being shot at different times, you can really sense it. Tina Six, watch out for the icy pass. There's a good quasi-gay joke in Muppet Family Christmas where Fozzie is making a snowman. What is the joke? What's the joke? Oh, he says something to the snow. So he's talking. He makes a snowman. The snowman comes to life, and they're talking to each other. Fozzie says something about like Santa Claus is a rain bear, and the snowman says that's reindeer, and Fozzie says no, that's snow, darling. Very, very Muppet joke. Sewing Thread likes the Muppets Christmas Carol. The thing that I love about the Muppet Christmas Carol, it's Albert Finney, I think, who plays Scrooge in that one. The thing that I love about that one is how mean Scrooge is. Like, that actor has to be so, like, miserly and cruel to all these goofy Muppets running around. Like, how difficult it must be to, like, shout and be stern and harsh while you've got, like, the funniest characters ever invented, just, like, all chaosing around you. Oh, Katsmeow says Sesamstrasse is the German name. That's sweet. I actually know one of the performers on the German Sesame Street. We've been corresponding via email. It's one of the like lovely things about the about Sesame Street is the internationalizing and how it's adapted for every different country. Something they also did for Fraggle Rock. So Fraggle Rock was a show, if you're not familiar. Fraggle Rock was a show in the 80s. I want to say 83 to 88, maybe? Yeah, 83 to 88. And, it's cute, fuzzy creatures singing songs, having fun. And there would be like these rappers, these host segments, basically, with silly creatures, with humans, and his dog Sprocket, and it was different in different countries. So in the U.S. we had Doc and Sprocket, an inventor. In Canada, was it a chef in Canada? In the UK, it was a lighthouse keeper, I think. So anyway, they did different rappers in different countries to localize it. So one of the goals with Fraggle Rock, Jim Henson said, was he wanted to show kids how to live in harmony with each other and bring about a more peaceful world, change the world, make it, bring about world peace. One of the ways to do that was to make the show more locally relevant. Oh, it's Michael Caine. You're absolutely right. It's Michael Caine. Why did I think it was? I think Albert Finney's Albert Finney's definitely in a different Christmas Carol from the 70s. How about that clip of Fozzie talking about using a dating app and listing himself as a bear, getting the wrong sort of responses for him? Yeah, it's very sweet. That's from the Muppets reboot in 2015, which, they're all different performers. So even though they're the same characters, it is hard for me to feel the same. I don't know. They're the same characters, and yet they're not the same. They've grown, they've evolved, they've adapted. It doesn't feel quite like the Muppets, and not necessarily in a bad way, but like I was saying before, I would be cool if they let some of the main Muppets step back a bit, and we had fun with the newer folks. Oh yeah, and Sewing Thread. Big Bird has relatives all over the world. Big Bird's international relatives are so fun. I love. Yeah, I know. Everyone's yelling Michael Caine right now. I love the internationalizing of Big Bird. Vin Cornell says, I never get used to Big Bird being yellow. Always been blue to me. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, in the same way, it's very weird for Americans to see a blue Big Bird. Where is it? I think it's in South America that he's blue. And of course, he's also blue in in Follow That Bird, when he's the blue bird of happiness. Jeez. The amount of knowledge I have on this topic is obnoxious. Like, wouldn't it be great if I could just delete a little bit of this, make a little bit more room for more current, more useful information. Oh, Alexa Hornado got a puppy named Grover after my favorite childhood Muppet. That's so sweet. I want to see your puppy. We're not allowed to have pets in the building that I'm in, although I think they might have changed that because I've been seeing a lot of dogs lately. But when we moved into this building, and in the lease, it says that we can't have pets. So I have to live vicariously through everybody else's animals. Oh, Big Bird's Mexican cousin Abelardo? I'm almost definitely mispronouncing that. Stephen Schmidt asks, Bunsen Beaker definitely gay, right? Funny you should ask. That's going to be in the video that you're going to see in about 15 minutes. We're going to talk about that. Wasn't there a moment when Bunsen Beaker were wearing each other's... Yes, that is plain possum. That is 100% what we're going to be talking about. Cats Meow says, I saw the Muppets 3D at MGM as a kid. I was super concerned that Muppets could reach out and touch you. Oh, no. They can. It's amazing. When you see Muppet performers interacting with kids... this has been observed by many, many people for many, many decades, but a good Muppet performer interacting with kids, the performer just vanishes as far as that kid's concerned. It's something that I observed when I was working at Henson, is that particularly when they're interacting with kids talk to the Muppets, kids talk to the characters, adults tend to talk to the performers, but kids talk to the character. It's very sweet. One of the things I picked up from that, it's like a basic puppeting 101. But one of the things that I learned when I was working there is that you always want to be thinking, people when they perform, people usually tend to lead with the mouth and talk, think about where the mouth is pointed, but you want to think about the eyes and where the eyes are pointed. You have to keep the eyes focused, and that's what gives the character its I don't know, it makes it feel more alive, rather than a lot of people talk like this, like flapping hamburger bun, and this doesn't work because you don't talk with the top of your head, you talk with the bottom of your jaw, so you got to move your thumb more and think about where the eyes, if the eyes are here. I've got my eye stalks. And you're thinking about your character here, about where the character's vision is focused and where their gaze is focused. Anyway, that was my brief, I hurt my hand doing that, my brief puppet tutorial for you all. Oh yeah, there absolutely was a Muppet special about Big Bird sending an Egyptian ghost boy to heaven. I don't think it was Egyptian. I think it was in the Natural History Museum. I think you're conflating two things. I think that there was definitely one where Big Bird meets an ancient Egyptian ghost boy, and I think there was also one in Japan where Big Bird meets a Japanese ghost. Why was Big Bird meeting so many ghosts? Now, I might be confusing two things too, but there's definitely one where Big Bird is stuck in a museum overnight, and there's a different one where Big Bird is in Japan. Don't Eat the Paintings. That's the name of it. Thank you, James. Samantha says, love your videos. Been watching you for years. I've learned so much about queer history that I can't find in book as easily. Love you. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Same to you. Video Gamer says, who thinks Statler and Waldorf were more than just friends? I mean, that's another Statler, another character played by Richard Hunt. Richard Hunt and Jim Henson up in that box for just hours and hours and hours when they're shooting. Geek Filter has the same encyclopedic knowledge about Star Trek, so I know what you mean. My social security number, who knows, but I know the registry number of the ship destroyed in the ultimate computer. Lauren spent all day yesterday watching a bunch of my videos. Yay! Thank you, Lauren. Disney villains and Star Trek was so great I made my friends watch. Yes, oh yeah, tell your friends. If you're enjoying my videos, tell your friends. And also, check out my Patreon. I've got tons of bonus videos up there. Just posted one about Bert and Ernie, so we're going to touch on Bert and Ernie just a little bit in the video that's coming up, but there's lots more details, lots more backstory on Bert and Ernie. That's in the bonus video over on Patreon, which you can find linked in the description. So in about 10 minutes, my new video is going to premiere. It's all about the gay history of the Muppets and about Richard Hunt, the gay man behind so many of your favorite characters. So we're going to be watching that in about 10 minutes. Then we're going to head over to Twitch and play a little bit of video games on Twitch, just hang out and chat about Muppets some more. And then after that, I'm going to go to the farmer's market and get some cheese. No, I might not get cheese. I didn't finish the cheese that I got last week. So I might get some I don't know, some berries. Vin Cornelius says there's a clip somewhere with Henson saying it doesn't matter if you see the performer because the green frog is far more interesting. Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, Roger Ebert makes a good point. Like in his review of the Muppet movie from '79, he writes something about how like the minute you see Kermit on that bicycle, for a moment you're like, how are they doing that? And then it's instantly replaced with just like enjoying Kermit on the bicycle, and it wouldn't even occur to you to ask how are they doing that because they're just characters, they're just real characters in the world, and you just stop thinking about the technical stuff immediately and just get into the movie. Like the Muppet movie, the original Muppet movie, that movie holds up. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's a gorgeous movie with so much heart, and it holds up so well. It's one of the very few movies of its time that really, it does not feel dated at all. Yeah, I've been talking here with some friends in Seattle about doing a midnight movie series, and just thinking about that, just talking about it now. I want to do a series like of all the old Muppet movies. Oh, that would be so much fun if we did the Muppet movie, Great Muppet Caper, and Muppets Take Manhattan, like all three of those. Like, oh my god. We'd also have to get licensing from Disney to sign off on that, make that possible. So who knows? But can you imagine? Big Bird is nice. Wouldn't freak out with the ghost. I wouldn't be surprised if he befriended Casper, says Sawyer Thread. Yeah, Big Bird would be friends. I think that's the deal, is Big Bird is friends with the ghosts. Mikey OJGR is here. Almost missed it. Oh, good. I'm glad you made it. Bert and Ernie? Oh, Bert and Ernie. That is, oh my God. That's the worst drag name I've ever heard. Bert and Ernie. Oh. Matthew Strickland, yay, thank you for the tip. I really appreciate it. Love these premieres. Thank you. I love doing them too. I have such a great time when we all get together like this. And you can tell from like how frantically I'm talking about this, how excited I get like the moment somebody mentions the Muppets. Emily says, it took me a minute to remember who Statler and Waldorf were. They don't care for most things, Peter Griffin. Oh my God, Sophia, he told a story once where a talk show mic'd up Kermit instead of him. That's hysterical. I love that. Oh, Nick says, thoughts on Kermit's swamp years. It's good. It's good. You know, it's one of those, post-gym projects, I think, right? Yeah. That's way post-gym. It's good. Yeah, Song Thread Gem. Remember Mr. Rogers talking to Big Bird? It's so beautiful. It's such a sweet moment. I think... Is it Big Bird visits? No, it's Mr. Rogers visits Sesame Street, I think. Mr. Rogers visits Sesame Street and talks to Big Bird. It's just, oh my God, it's just the most pure thing. That's the thing that I love so much about, like, so much of the good stuff with the Muppets is it's so pure and so big-hearted, and that's like 100% Jim. But like that clip, you know, the one of the little girl, it's from Sesame Street. It's like old Sesame Street. It's a little girl named Joey, I think, doing the alphabet with Kermit. And he's like, "Hey Joey, can you sing the alphabet? Do you know the alphabet?" And she's like, will you say the alphabet with me?" And she's like, "I can say the alphabet." He's like, "All right, will you sing it with me?" And they started A, B, C, D, E, F, and she goes, "Cookie," like she keeps saying Cookie Monster as they're trying to sing the alphabet. And Kermit's getting more and more frustrated. And it's totally off the cuff. Like, this was not planned. And like you could see Jim rolling with it and being like, that's not the alphabet. It's A, B, C, D. And like they keep going. And at the end, she's like, "Next time, Cookie Monster," at the very end. And it's like, "Next time Cookie Monster can do this with you, I'm leaving." And he like goes off. And she says, "I love you." And he comes back on and says, "I love you too." It's so sweet. Anyway, I don't know why you needed me to describe an entire Muppet sequence to you, but there it is. This is how excited I get. Nini says, "Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppet Treasure Island with Tim Curry are my all-time favorite Muppet movies." Isn't Tim Curry, like, there's some performers who just get the Muppets instantly. And like Tim Curry is one of those performers who just like immediately knows how to talk to them, knows how to engage. Vincent Price is another one like that. It's just like immediately knows who to look at, how to be silly with them. It's so good. We're going to talk more about this, particularly about Gay Muppet Show guests. For one thing, in Patreon, in my Patreon bonus videos, I'm going to talk a lot more about that. But also, over on Twitch, after this video premiere that we're about to do in about 5 minutes, join me over on Twitch, and we're going to talk a lot more about this. So, here's the plan. In about 5-ish minutes, I'm going to wrap up this stream. It should automatically send you to my premiere. Usually works. In case it doesn't, there's a link to it in the description of this live stream, so you can click on that. So it should send you automatically to the premiere in about 5 minutes. And then we're going to watch my new video about the gay history of the Muppets. And then we're going to head over to Twitch for some video games and good times. And then I'm going to go to the farmer's market. Randall says, "Have you watched the Jim Henson memorial that they had after he passed?" Yeah, we're going to touch on that too. It's going to be a bit of a tearjerker, but we're not dwelling on the sad stuff. We're dwelling on the happy times and the happy memories. But yeah, oh my gosh, it really, woof. What was it? Oh yeah, over on Twitter. If you follow me over on Twitter, there's the URL, my @ name down in the corner there. At Matt Baum on Twitter, and I posted a bunch of versions of the Muppets singing just one person, including at the memorial. So you can find that over on my Twitter there. Yeah, Theo says, "One of my all-time favorite Sesame Street clips is that girl trolling Kermit." It's very funny. Carlos says, "I thought this started at 3 p.m. Eastern. That was the advance notice." Oh, that's the live stream usually starts. I start the live stream an hour before the video premiere. So the video premiere does start at 3 p.m. Eastern / noon Pacific. So we're going to be hopping over to that in just a couple minutes. Birmingham guy here, so I'm in for Seattle Screening, says Hardbody. All right. So we just did a survey over at The Stranger, which is the alt weekly paper that I write for here in Seattle. We did a survey about what people would want to see at a midnight movie screening, and Labyrinth, like far and away the winner. So people want to see a Labyrinth midnight movie. Lingerie says, "What are you going to play?" Probably a little Stardew, because it's one that I can play and talk to you at the same time, and I don't have to like pay attention to the game too much. Geek says, "Did you ever get confirmation that James Coco was gay?" Not 100%. I got like some very reliable. That's what I understand from some very reliable gossip, but I did not get like any confirmation from like primary sources of him talking about being gay. So I don't want to like say for definite that he was. Oh, Upstart, yeah, Katie Lang's episode of the Jim Henson Hour. She's definitely somebody who knows how to interact with Muppets. Isn't it great? It's so fun when somebody knows exactly who to look at and exactly how to be funny, how to give them space. Jon Stewart, awkward. It's funny, but Jon Stewart had Kermit the Frog on The Daily Show many years ago, and it is kind of a messy interaction. I sound crazy when I start explaining Kermit and Piggy's very complicated on-again, off-again relationships, as Alexa. It is complicated, is the thing, because they're different origin stories. And, I mean, this is the other thing, is the Muppets, Jim in particular, not particularly precious about continuity. So you get all these different stories about who the characters are, because they're just, at the end of the day, they're just a bunch of socks. They're just a bunch of socks with eyes. And so you get things like Kermit and Fozzie are brothers, or Kermit and Fozzie met, at the El Sleazo Cafe, or Kermit and Fozzie went to college together. Like all different stories in all different movies. Anyway, okay, so we're coming up on noon, so I'm going to wrap up this stream, and I'm going to throw everybody over to the premiere that's going to be starting in just a couple minutes over on my YouTube channel, which is where you are right now. If it doesn't throw you over there automatically, there's a link in the description of this live stream, so we're going to watch it, and then we're going to head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/MattBaum, for some more video games and hanging out and talking about our favorite Muppet Show guests. Oh my god, which we barely got into. All right, everybody, let's see if I can make this work. Let's see if I can actually do it properly this time. We're going to start some music, end the stream, and then I'll see you in just a couple minutes over on the premiere of my new Muppet history video. All right, everybody, thanks for joining for the live stream. See you in just a minute.
Don't stop. Don't